Mine right here. All right, jacket on. Could you kill the audio for that? Yeah, that thing. Okay, if you say Nick is ready, that means I can give a countdown, and I will do so in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi everyone, meteorologist Chester Lampkin. Thanks for joining us on this live stream here on WUSA 9, our free app, and wherever we're streaming this here on this Monday evening. I'm in for Top or Shut tonight, and I've got the task of putting together a snow forecast. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on this. The storm that we have been tracking since last week is getting closer, and we're getting new model information all the time. The latest forecast is putting down a trace to an inch. That's it for DC. So that's lower than our initial forecast for DC. However, north and west of DC, including our suburbs in Montgomery, parts of Fairfax into Loudoun counties, and over to Frederick, Prince William, parts of Fauquier County, 1 to 3 inches with a few spots seeing upwards of half a foot. This is going to be a small and very strong gradient of snow, meaning a place like Sterling may only get 1, 2 to 3 inches, and then you go to Leesburg and it may be as much as 6, 7, 8 inches, and then you go to Percival and it may be as much as a foot. Same story in Montgomery County, maybe Gaithersburg, Clarksburg area 3, maybe 4 inches, and then you go up the road to Frederick where it could be upwards of 6, 7, 8 inches. I mean, it's going to be a very strong gradient. The farther south and east you head, less snow. I'm talking about you guys in St. Charles, La Plata, over to Clinton and Capitol Heights, maybe an inch out of this. Same story at Dale City and Arlington, Alexandria area, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches at most. A lot of sleet will mix in as well. And then the highest amounts, Martinsburg, Winchester areas along and west of I-81. Out in this zone here, you guys can get upwards of a foot. A little closer into the metro, here it is. City of Fairfax, for example. You guys are in the winter storm watch, by the way, but we have you guys only at the trace to inch range. Same with DC, as I mentioned. Doesn't matter if you're in northwest, southeast, wherever you are in DC. Bowie, same situation here down through Upper Marlboro and out towards Dunkirk and down to Prince Frederick. We're talking maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches the farther west you are, towards Beltsville, let's say Hyattsville University Park area, over to Langley Park. And then, again, this is maybe you're up to 2 inches the closer you are to that white line there. Down through Quantico, Triangle, Dale City, places like that off to the south. You guys are only going to get maybe an inch or 2 out of this. A lot of rain and sleet will mix in. That will limit your ability to get a lot of snow. Okay, let's go to the Futurecast. So it's dry all day Tuesday, and it is cold. Temps 20s to around 30 degrees. We'll get close to 40 in the afternoon hours, and then this is what we're going to be watching Wednesday. Now, this is one of the models that's a little bit faster with the precipitation, but the idea is that around 8, 9 o'clock, it's on our doorstep. I don't think we see much here, maybe a few flurries in Metro Washington, but south of Leesburg, south of Manassas, south of Triangle over towards, say, Stafford, Culpeper areas like that, Warrenton, you're starting to get snow showers and maybe some sticking snow to the south and west. Same situation in the Shenandoah, Luray, over to Strasburg and Winchester. You may be getting a little bit of sticking snow and maybe up to Romney as well and Martinsburg. By noon, snow is really going in the Shenandoah. It's really going across West Virginia and then out to Leesburg, starting to get going as well. But look at this. This pink would be indicative of a little bit of sleet, maybe even a little freezing rain, though I think sleet is the main concern for ice, and even rain mixing in. So pink could be ice or a mix of rain and snow. Could be either one. Hard to tell at this point, but we can tell you that this zone here will see a mixed bag of precipitation. This sneaks into DC. This is why we won't see much snow. And then right along I-95 up to Baltimore, right? This is all rain over here, midday. Again, Clinton, Upper Marlboro, probably Bowie as well, Crofton. And then farther south, Waldorf, St. Charles, down to Leonardtown, California, Prince Frederick, and then Fredericksburg over to Dahlgren and those areas along the northern neck. It's all rain. So again, Metro Washington, it's a dividing line. Prince George's County, it's mostly rain or a mix of sleet and rain, and then Montgomery County and western Fairfax County, snow, sleet mix, snow, sleety mix. It's just kind of a mess here. This model changes almost everyone over to rain in DC by late afternoon. So that will melt any snow that's on the ground. That's why we're not going to get big totals for DC, okay? But north and west, the snow will pile up. Martinsburg will probably approach a foot. Hagerstown as well. Harpers Ferry areas west of DC. Leesburg may even switch over to a little sleet and rain for a time. Same in parts of Montgomery County, let's say from Gaithersburg and points to the south and east. It's going to be a mess on Wednesday. And again, this forecast will change. Look at this. This is moderate to heavy rain at times to the south here. Look at Patuxent River. I mean, that's way too warm for snow. And even if it's snowing at 34 degrees in D.C., it's not sticking. You got to be at 32 or colder, and the ground has to be cold too. So we won't get a lot of sticking snow in D.C. This is 8 o'clock. Still kind of warm here, but I think we start getting colder air to push in here on Wednesday evening. So it goes all the way back to snow if it's changed over at all. Clarksburg, Leesburg, down through Warrenton, Haymarket, places like that. It's all rain in Prince George's County still. But then we finally get past midnight, and it changes to all snow for almost everybody, all the way down to La Plata and Prince Frederick, starting to change over to snow. Everyone in Prince George's County, Fairfax, Montgomery, it's all snow. It's getting colder here at this point, and snow down through Warrenton area, down into Fauquier County, and up to Martinsburg and Inwood and places like that, over into West Virginia. It's all snow. But this is already after midnight. We are going to start losing our moisture, and this thing gets out of here. So by dawn on Thursday, we're done. Maybe a few snow showers, but no more sticking snow for our region. Okay, this is a computer-generated forecast. I'm going to show you two different models, okay? This is the European model. Puts down 3 inches of DC, right? That's not bad. Look at what it's doing to our north and west. Leesburg, Gaithersburg, up to almost 10 inches, and then a foot plus to our north and west. I think it's possible there will be spots between Romney and Hagerstown, Frederick, Martinsburg area. Harpers Ferry, as I mentioned earlier, Purcellville maybe, maybe up to Front Royal as well, where we could see upwards of 1.5 feet to almost 2 feet of snow, especially as you get into the higher elevations. And then the snow amounts, they go down drastically. Like that Andrews base there, it says 2.1 there, so in the Clinton area, I think that's overdone. I think really maybe an inch with a little bit of sleet mixed in there, okay? And then it hardly has anything for La Plata. So you go south, it's not much. Fredericksburg, this is not a snowstorm for you guys probably. So this is that model again. Let me show you what happens with the close-in view of the American model, okay? This is the American model close-in. And this is a little different. It's got nothing basically for DC. This is the newest run, just came in the last hour. See how it has nothing all the way, even out to Dulles, it doesn't have anything. And then the numbers, they jump sharply up towards Middleburg, 6.4 inches, 9 in Frederick, 6 plus in Germantown. So you can go 6 in Germantown and then come down to Rockville, and it's like 2 inches. So the dividing line is going to be sharp. It's probably going to set up right over or just west of D.C., which is why D.C. won't get much. We won't get a ton in Prince George's or Charles counties. And Fairfax County, let's say south of 66, you're not going to get a ton. Maybe the city of Fairfax gets a dusting to an inch. But once you get to that line of Falls Church and over to Arlington and south, Alexandria, down through Lorton, you're not going to get much. Dale City Triangle, you see the numbers there. Manassas probably not going to get that much. So Haymarket will get more than Manassas, for example. Middleburg more than Dulles and Sterling in areas like that. So that gives you an idea of what to expect that day. Let's go to the Wednesday outlook, and I'm going to switch to the graphics here while you guys look at that. That's what the hour by hour looks like for DC right now. And you see it starts off as snow, and then it changes over to rain and or sleet. The idea is that the sticking snow is not going to be all that much. Overnight, Wednesday night to early Thursday morning, it'll change back into a little bit of, just a little bit of snow. But we may get another dusting to an inch out of that. And then lastly, I want to show you that European model again, but up close, just because I didn't get to show it to you. That's what I meant to show you earlier. And so you could see the difference between this and the American model. It has 3 in DC, and then the amounts go up higher. It has a little bit, the colder air a little bit further south into DC, as opposed to the American model, which I think is going to be, so this is the European model, 3.2. And it tries to bring some snow into PG County, Prince George's County, down through eastern parts of Fairfax County. But then you take that versus the American model, and there is a difference there. It hardly has anything, okay? take this with a grain of salt. Take all of it with a grain of salt. The idea, we're going to stick with our forecast, trace to an inch in D.C. In fact, let me see if I can scroll back to that so you guys can see that. And then we'll end the Facebook Live with that. And know that I'm going to try to massage the data. I'm going to try to massage the forecast, change it up just a little bit as we head into later this evening. So at 11 o'clock, I'll have a brand new forecast. And I may adjust this line just a little bit, but probably not a lot. Trace to an inch. If you live in D.C., this is not the big snow that we were hoping for. We may get an inch out of this. That would be the first time we've gotten an inch or more of snow since February of 2019. So it's been, what, a year and 10 months? It's been a long time. And then you go north and west. I think this may actually be too low. I think we may be talking about more than a foot of snow in Hagerstown, Martinsburg, and west of the Blue Ridge and South Mountain. And then the gradient is going to be really tight here, really tight across northwest D.C., southeastern suburbs, eastern suburbs, southern suburbs, down through northern central Virginia. Hardly anything, not much for Fredericksburg, not a ton for Dale City or Quantico Base or over to Alexandria, Springfield, Franconia, places like that. You just won't get a ton. Same with Vienna. I don't see us getting more than an inch or so. And then you go into Prince George's County. Again, not a ton, maybe an inch, maybe two if you're really lucky, up to Laurel, College Park, areas like that. So a little bit closer and you can see that map. So I'm going to end that here. I'll leave the map up for a minute or two if you want to see it. And give us a follow here. If you aren't already following us on the WUSA 9 Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram, we have the forecast. You can follow me as well, Chester Lampkin, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course the free WUSA 9 app. We update this forecast multiple times a day. I'll have another update going up shortly, and we'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock. We're going to be talking more about our nor'easter that comes in on Wednesday and why for D.C. it's mostly a bust, but some of the suburbs could pick up several inches of snow.